Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year and Happy New Decade from us all here at Boro Fan TV. Welcome back to the Monday night show with me, James Hutchinson. Join me tonight are Tony Guest.
Evening, James.
And Lee Bailey.
Evening.
You alright, lads? Good to have you back.
And nice to see you again,
Yeah,
James.
nice to see you, lads. Yeah.
You too, mate.
A lot of water has flowed under the bridge since our last show in October, lads. Boro's recent upturn in fortunes, has it convinced you, Boro fans, that the path the club has set out on in the summer is the right one? What do you think the transformation's down to? How should the club approach this month's transfer window? And what are your hopes for the rest of the season? These are some of the things that me and the lads are going to talk about tonight. So as I say, lads, welcome back. Nice to have you here. Nice easy one to start off with, since we've started the new decade. Boro player, who was your best one and what was your favourite moment of the last decade?
Oh, favourite moment, obviously. My favourite moment of the last decade was the Riverside. We'd already got a good result down at Brentford in the playoffs.
Right.
And then it's one of the best performances I've seen by a Boro team for a long time.
Yeah.
And that performance we put in that evening against Brentford to get to Wembley, was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was a special one, wasn't it? To get to a Wembley final, because we hadn't been to Wembley for a few years, so it was a special one. That
it meant more, like you say, the Norwich game, the Brighton game at the Riverside was another massive eye for my, decade. Yeah. But that's a game that sticks out. The
Brentford one,
especially with Brentford players saying like Boro were a long ball
team.
Absolutely.
Only score from set pieces and stuff. I seem to remember them singing.
Tomlin was outstanding.
Class.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that was a good team going forward that night. Yeah. Obviously, kicked on the year after we got promoted. How about for you, Lee? What was your favourite moment of the last decade?
Like obviously the Brighton game, the atmosphere. There was just Brighton fans all over social media afterwards were saying how good it was. I've never heard anything like it, but for me, I enjoyed it when we beat City.
See, that was a one that ranked high, that with a lot of people, like the cup win against City, yeah.
I think everyone in Boro had a tenner on Boro as well.
Again, talking about Lee Tomlin again, like his performance that day.
Yeah, class.
He was amazing.
He's been in good form recently as well.
He has,
Yeah, he's getting his game regular now, isn't he?
Yeah. Good shouts, them lads. What about favourite Boro player of the last decade? Who would it be for you, lads? I'll throw mine in first. I would have picked George Friendly for what he cost us and for what he contributed. I mean, £300,000. I think it's been a hell of a signing. That we've had more than our money's worth out of George. And I mean, he got in the Championship Team of the Year 2 seasons in a row. And I think if your fellow pros vote you into the league's team, that shows how good you are. So he would be my player for the last 10 years.
I'd have another one for George Friend, but also Ledbetter.
Yeah.
I think he was class under Karanka.
Yeah.
The most exciting, like you say, I couldn't really go all out and pick a favourite. Ben Gibson's came in and done well. The local lads, Stewie's come back. People didn't like Stewie coming back, but I always felt he gave his all. But the one that's excited me the most, which is everyone, is a damn try. You can have your Reece Williams, your Woodgates. They've all put the Boro shirt on over the last 10 years. But I don't think we've ever seen anything. Obviously we had Janino, but we've never seen anything on the level as a damage try. You could just see what was in him and where he's going to go now with a ridiculous amount of money that's being bandied about on his worth. Klopp's talking about him. Guardiola's talking about him. All these top managers, you know what I mean? And you could see he was something special.
Could you say he was going to be as special as what people are making out? I mean, I've seen some reports today linking him with an £80 million bid. Do you think? I actually thought when we sold him to Wolves, Tony, I thought we got quite a good deal out of that. When we got, was it 18, 20 million pound? I thought, you know what, we've done well, because he only really did it for us for 4 or 5 months. He was good in those 4 or 5 months, don't get me wrong. But there was a lot of times I was like thinking, is he an end product there? He doesn't score a lot of goals. And I thought that fee was a good amount of money for him, but...
Once Sky start picking up on these players and they start highlighting them, and then you get the top managers coming in, speaking highly of them. I know City have just played, but I know Wolves have just played City and Liverpool recently, so he's been quite high profile. But like you say, for me, he excited me so much. Even when he was having a bad game, he had absolute. When was it? He'd been left out because there was talk of him moving, and he came in against Bolton away. And that day he was something special to watch. Assombalonga profited most from him, but we were absolutely we were privileged to watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like you
agree with
say, he could go on and do something.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it was a good deal for us at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, if you'd have said, do you think he could be linked with City in a few years? He had the potential to do it.
Yeah.
Whether he did it or not was anyone's guess, and he is doing it
Yeah.
now. So.
and he's most probably, obviously he's at a better team now. He's got
yeah.
internationals, Champions League players in
Yeah.
and around the squad with him, and it's most probably bringing the best out of him.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you said there, the player of the decade. It hasn't been a decade like the noughties
No,
to the tens
yeah,
or the
yeah.
90s where
Yeah.
we've had standout players like you said there, Ledbetter. It's all grand as
Yeah.
It's been one
George,
season in the
yeah.
Premier League in the
Yeah.
last decade. That's what we've had. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've pretty much all been squad players, and obviously we had the debacle under Stratton with all them jocks coming in and Australians and God
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
what. And then obviously Mowbray came in and that cut the cloth.
Yeah.
No,
It's been a tough
it's
decade
been
for the club. hasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Well, bringing it back to present time, lads. When we last got together in October, we just lost to West Brom, and we were flirting with the bottom three. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that many people had genuine concerns about the club being embroiled in a relegation battle this year. Do you think that's a fair point to make, that, Tony?
I'm still in the my glass is still half empty at the
Right.
moment. I'd like to see us keep progressing, and like Woodgate said yesterday, we are going to still hit the bad patches.
we are.
We're going to have bad runs, and it's how far we get dragged back into that, and how
Yeah,
quickly
yeah.
we can get away from it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm still looking over my shoulder at the moment.
still-
I'm not
you-
looking
yeah,
up
you-
over. So
Yeah, because I know...
sorry, James.
Yeah.
Similar. I'm happened to Huddersfield when the Cowleys came in.
Yeah.
They started to climb the league. Now they're back down there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah. Do you think that's fair? Because I know one or
Yeah.
two people recently, Lee, have said, oh, well, look, now we're nearer to the playoff places and we are to relegation, and some people looking at playoffs. Do you think some people are getting ahead of themselves a little bit?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
probably guilty of that myself, but
Right.
and I do agree with Guesty. 3 or 4 defeats.
It's in here, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Three defeats. If you have a bad month,
Mhm.
you're looking over your shoulder again.
Yeah.
The one thing that I think is different, we've got a bit of pace in the squad now. The two young wing backs, Tavernier has added a bit.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed at Preston, how quick we were on the counter.
Yeah.
Whereas at the start of the season we were a bit predictable.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of pace now, and it's good to see.
We've stopped balls coming in. I know we conceded on Sunday
Yeah.
a similar goal to what we have been conceding.
Yeah, but overall,
we'd stopped that. We've seemed to have stopped that
Yeah.
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I think you're right there. You've picked up on something there. I think we've now given teams something to think
Yeah.
about. Whereas maybe in
Yeah.
the first half of the season we were a little bit slow in our build-up play, and it was a bit predictable. More so for me, the West Brom performance away was how good we were on the counter-attack,
Yeah.
and how quickly we broke. And again, you saw signs of that at Preston. And I think the team, whether that's because certain players are missing from the team at the moment, I don't know, but it just seems though how we're set up at the moment, we've found a style that seems to suit
Yeah.
us, and we're getting results with it.
There was a 20-minute spell at Preston where we absolutely battered their goal.
Yeah, yeah.
There was the Howson volley, the Gested header,
Yeah.
the little mazy run from Tavernier, and I thought, oh god, it's good to watch.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
good to watch.
yeah.
Like if we can keep it up, I'm all over it. Yeah, I'm happy.
So just going back to the beginning of the season, or like October, November when we were last on, at that time there was a lot of criticism flying around towards Jonathan Woodgate, Steve Gibson for the poor start of the season. Do you think that criticism was justified, Tony, or do you think that was something we were going to have to go through this year?
Yes and no, because we've been promised so much as Boro fans, and obviously Woodgate's come in, the signings weren't great, the club seemed to be in a bit of few problems with money, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and it looked like Woodgate was going to be the whipping boy. We'd won 3 games out of 20? Watford had sacked 3 managers by then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it was looking a bit, you know, it was more than a bit. There was many a voice shouting for him to be sacked, and
Yeah.
like you say, Gibson getting some justified criticism for me, you know what I mean, with his choices. But we've had 1 month under Woodgate where it's been good. I hope it continues for him.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the season, we all wanted it. Well, certain people wanted him to do well, other people wanted him to fall flat. I was one who wanted him to do well.
Yeah, of course.
And he's tearing it up at the moment, and long may it continue.
And I think he's been dealt a difficult hand, hasn't he? I don't think anyone can deny he's come to the club, and maybe he's got the job because of where the club is at the moment, but it's a difficult stage at the moment. There's not a lot of money going around, obviously. There's a lot of players, I think, which is another big issue, with players coming out to the end of the contracts. So you've got players that are running down their contracts, that are on the verge of leaving. so he's got to manage that side of things as well. There's not much coming in terms of money. He's got a difficult job on his hands.
That's a massive issue, isn't it, with the likes of House and Ayala?
Yeah.
Players who were really starting to play for us, you know what I mean?
I think the criticism on Woodgate was a bit harsh because he's taken a team that's a drilled defensive unit and he's trying to totally shift that philosophy.
And that's not going to happen overnight,
exactly,
is it?
and you could see the signs were there in some games. Some games you were like, oh God, what are we watching?
You can tell, like you said there, you can tell the fans who actually go to games, because we've seen them little chinks.
Little bits of games,
you know what I mean?
Like it was the Luton game, Brentford home game, first half against Brentford. And there has been spells in games where for 10-15 minutes you thought, I can see something here. But then it gets undone.
Now you are starting to see it on a bit of a more.
When we went 1-0, we went one behind against Stoke. We've never looked back since then. Since they got that belief from coming back and winning that game, we've never looked back.
But I think he deserves credit because whether by luck or what, he's shot Coulson and he's shot Jed Spence in. Like, this isn't a dig at Pulis, but they would not have got a game under Pulis. No chance.
Well, last year Tavernier didn't get much of a chance last year.
Like,
Wing was in and out.
He's shot them in, and like I said, those three players, they're the ones who've offered us the pace and the attack and outlet.
Fletcher came in as a marquee signing under Gary Monk.
Fletcher's done alright, I think.
He's starting to get used now.
He's just a bit of confidence. Another one at Preston, and I'm not his greatest fan. I thought Guested was outstanding.
He played well that game, didn't he?
He was really good.
He gave them a lot of trouble.
Maybe that's just a case of he's just needed a manager to come in and put his arm around him.
That amused me on Sunday, but like you say, us Boro fans are so
I know.
It was unbelievable. Stoke City, the boos Guested got were louder than the ones that McLean was getting. Public enemy number one, and then he came on yesterday, and it was everyone was singing his name.
I turned my mate at Preston, and I just said, "We're two-faced dazzles."
I think it's not just Boro fans, mate. I think it's football fans in general. If things are going well, as you can say, like about Woodgate and Gibson, all the criticism seems to have gone in the last 3 or 4 weeks because it is a results-driven business, isn't it? If your team's winning, people are happy.
You still got to stay on your toes. I don't like the lies that come out the club about Randolph, because it is the lying to our faces for me, because I don't think he's been injured.
I agree with that.
Even when he got selected for Ireland, then all of a sudden he's knocked on Woodgate's door. He played the next game and he's never played since. You know what I mean?
Do you think they're protecting what money they can get from him because they don't want him to get injured?
Yeah,
and they don't want to.
If it's right what they're saying, a lot of fans are going mad because it's only 4 million. You know what I mean? But he's a player in his last year of his contract. You know what
and I think apparently we still owe a lot of money to West Ham. Don't we still owe? I think we apparently owe between £1.5 and £2 million still for Randolph. So that money's then going to be written off. Right. So in essence, you're getting like 6 million. But
then I'm looking at him thinking we're making a loss on him. He's our player of the season. But when you put it like that, if it's true, like we'll never know. It'll be undisclosed.
We'll never know.
It'll just be undisclosed. If that's true, which there's no smoke without fire, then I think it's a decent deal. It clears up some wage. Might be able to get a centre back now. This window.
I think as long as some of that money's invested in players.
Have you seen the photograph of Gibson's car at Rockcliffe today?
No.
I've just seen the FA Cup draw there. If we get through Tottenham away, which is like we'll talk about the Tottenham game. Got Southampton away, another nice short journey there for everyone.
Terrible tie that.
But Southampton away. So
what a terrible tie.
We'll see about that later on. But like I say, it's just a small question of having to get past Tottenham away next week first before we get to Southampton. But we'll talk about that later in the show, lads. Like I say, in terms of Woodgate, I am pleased with him in terms of that he's stuck to his guns. I don't think you can question his commitment to the cause, and he's tried to change things in games. He's not rigid with his formation, which you could maybe accuse previous managers of being. So I just wish him luck, and I just hope things keep going his way as they are at the moment.
Like I say, now we've got them 2 young lads. And one's coming in from one side, getting in the box. The other coming in from the other side, getting in the box. Spence got his goal.
Against Huddersfield.
Coulson was unlucky second half. He bottled it. You know what I mean? But it's nice to see them 2 lads actually getting in the opponent's box. And Tavernier's running with the ball now.
He's been quality.
I've been impressed with him the past month.
Howson,
he's classic.
Well, I mean, I know we've spoke about him before. And I know
he's our Mascherano, man. He's absolutely.
He's just proper utility man.
Praise for him.
Well, even when he was. Even when he was our Zenden and everyone thought he was, you know what I mean? He's always impressed me. He's absolutely fantastic.
And like we were saying there about contracts that are coming to an end, Ayala and Howson, do you know what? You sometimes be thinking, oh, players are coming the last 6 months of the contract, are they going to be committed to the cause? Those two lads have absolutely pulled all the stops out. I mean, for me, Ayala is playing the best football he's ever played since he's been at the club. And Howson, doesn't matter what's asked of him, he will deliver in that position wherever he'll just do anything. And you think, do you know what? Some people could say, I can understand why they may be down in the tools if they're off in the summer. Well, them two lads haven't been.
Well, we've seen a man who was down in his tools. Ericsson yesterday was a disgrace for me.
Oh, he didn't want to know,
one of the best midfielders in the world, and he just didn't want to know.
Yeah, he didn't want to know.
And you see our lads, absolutely. You can just see the running harder. You know what I mean? That you can see that together.
Yeah.
Saville's absolutely been fantastic.
He's hit some form, on Saville.
Yeah.
That's another point though. If it's true that we owe West Ham 2 million or whatever, and that's now gone, that could give us the wages to give them a new contract.
I just think that the thing is, I think with a lot of deals now, and I don't want to even think about this is all speculation, but I think a lot of transfer deals now, you don't pay the money up front, it gets paid in instalments. So, well, how much do you think we owe on Britta Sombalonga? Because that was 15, we wouldn't pay £15 million up in, so we must, I dare say there'll be a lot of money we still owe on that. But then again, you look at the other side, players that we've sold, we must be then due some money back from some of those. Gibson, Traore, there must be money still to come in from them. I don't know, but
it just
especially
seems like
without
strip fed into clubs now, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially with the prices of the day. There's no chance people are shotting 20-30 million about in one go.
No. So like I say, we've had a good month the past month, the Boro. What do you put the transformation down to though, lads? Why do you think all of a sudden we've had this run of 4 successive league wins, we've got the draw with Tottenham yesterday? What do you think it's down to, Lee?
Well, like Guesty said, coming back to beat Stokes obviously massively helped us.
It was, yeah.
But I'll just go back to the point, I think we've actually got some pace in the team now. Like at Preston, we were so quick on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
We've got pace, like we're no longer predictable. You know, even under Traore, we had the pace, but it was predictable. You seen what Villa done in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You know, we've got 3 or 4 players now who bomb forward when we're on the counter. I think I'm going for pace. He's found a bit of a formula in it.
It's what we've been screaming out for the last 2 seasons.
For a while,
especially down the flanks. We've needed it.
Yeah.
And Spence isn't the best going backwards, but neither is Trent Arnold, and he's one of the best.
It's a good point.
So, you know, if he can keep getting forward, he is absolute joy to watch.
Yeah, he is. He's really good. He's out of contract in the summer. Spence, he's out of contract in the summer.
Oh, well, he needs to be getting sorted out.
He needs dying down, doesn't he?
Definitely, because he couldn't be allowing to let him go for nothing. That'd be
That's what I was thinking. Watch him have a good game against Tottenham, and they don't mind going for him. I was thinking, watch them come knocking now.
Yeah,
because he is a breath of fresh air, and Coulson just, like you say, glides across the...
Just really good to watch it.
I know we mentioned earlier on there about Howson and Ayala and what they've brought to the team. I mean, another player player that you've championed his cause a lot in the past tour has been Ashley Fletcher, and he's at a purple patch recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, since he came to the club, I've always he's another one who you could see the potential in. But now he's got that confidence. Yeah, he's got no Brit holding him down, if you like. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to.
He's kind of relishing being the main striker.
When he's the main man, you know what I mean? He hasn't got like Brit holding him back. He's not playing off Brit. Yeah. You know, Brit's not relying on him, and he just seems to be flourishing. And like you say, relishing that position that he's playing in.
It'd be hard for Brit to get back in the team now.
I think it would.
You wouldn't have said that a few months back.
I tell you what, 6 months ago when he was through on goal yesterday,
you'd have fluffed it.
You wouldn't have put nothing on it. Yeah. As soon as he got past that back four, I said, this is in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, well, when you're in a purple patch, everything goes for you. Like that own goal at Preston's been given to him.
Everything goes for you. He wasn't even in the same postcode, was he?
Everything goes for you when you're in luck, you know. So.
And like we say there, we've touched on there about some of the young lads that have come through in the past few weeks, like Spence, Coulson, Tavernier, Ainsley Pears. I mean, 7 clean sheets in 13 games. I mean, they've all contributed, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. Yeah.
That's like you say, the kids come in and done well, but to be selling the best goalkeeper in the league,
I know,
and to be expecting the kid. How many games has he played? 12 there to do the same job.
It's a big ask, isn't it?
And you see some of the saves that Randolph made. I think he's that type of keeper.
He wins your points, doesn't he?
He'd have been the only one to make them saves. But if that's the way forward for the club as fans, we have to go with it. You know what I mean?
And I think as well, another thing is I think you don't know how much Darren Randolph's been involved in this, and he's probably thought, you know what, I've got a chance to go back into the Premier League.
One last decent pay.
Decent payday. I'd go back.
His
I've
career's short.
been here
He's
2.5 years.
yeah.
I don't think.
I think he's a London lad as well. I've spoken with him outside Loftus Road, and I asked him if we were staying down, and he says always. You know what I mean? So
I don't think he owes the club anything for his performances over the last 2.5 years. And I think when we signed him, I think we were hoping that we would have got promoted within that time. For it not to have happened, it's difficult to hold him back and say, do you know what, you're going to stay in the Championship.
But still, last season, people were still wanting freaking Dimmy in goal.
I know.
You know what I mean? And Randall's playing out of his skin, and people still weren't content with him. And like you say, it was...
One thing there, while we were on about kids, we forget that Dale Fry's still only a kid.
Well, do you know what? Dale's an interesting one because I think he's struggled this season massively, and I just think in the last month he's just come into his own again.
And he's another one who's, like you say, he grew into it yesterday. Without Ayala alongside him, he's come to the. I
think the shift to 3 at the back's helped him out.
Yes, definitely. I think you're right. Yeah,
He struggled.
Yeah, he has
but
struggled.
like you say, the last month, he's getting back to the Dale.
Yeah.
Whether that's down to fitness, because he was out for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you say there, Tony, as well with Pears, I think fans are going to have to accept that there's going to be games where he's going to drop bloopers. He's a young lad learning his trade, and he's going to have games that are going to be difficult. He's going to make mistakes, but you've got to accept that. And we've got to accept that he's a young lad.
Some of the saves what he's made and pushed it back into the striker.
He'll learn that.
That will all come.
Yeah. Well, like traditionally, festive season's not a great time for the Borough. We usually struggle with the decorations and everything else, but it's not been the case this year. Racked up 4 really impressive victories. I mean, all credit to Woodgate, the coaching staff and the players. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think we've ever won 4 games over Christmas before. And they were all different, challenging fixtures in their own way, weren't they?
Yeah.
Especially for a team that was struggling. We went
into the 2 home games, Stoke and Huddersfield, desperate for points.
Yeah.
And I think as fans, we'd have been happy with 4 points.
Do
you know what I mean? And we came away with 6. So then we thought, that'll suffice. We've got 2 hard away games. At least we've got 6 points on the board.
Well, after you've took 6 there, you're thinking, all right, West Brom's a free hit. If you get tanked, you get tanked. You took 6 points. And to go there and turn them over.
And then, like you say, the best home form team in the league, Preston, to go there.
I don't think any Borough fans would have predicted 4 wins from those 4 games. No way.
When you see the stats, I thought we got beat there last year. I didn't realise we drew 1-1. It's 1972 since Preston have beat us. So
it's a good ground for us, isn't it? But you can almost sense, I think you can even at the game yesterday, you can feel the levels of confidence going up amongst the fans.
The atmosphere and that.
Everyone's starting to believe a bit more now. But what are your hopes and what do you think the aims should be for the club for the remainder of the season? I know we talked a little bit earlier on about playoffs possibly. So do you think that's unrealistic? Do you think it's a possibility we could make it this year?
There's always one team who comes from nowhere, but you just got to take each game, man, as it comes. Like Guesty said, you're still looking over your shoulder if you have two defeats on the bounce. You know what I mean?
Reading have had a similar run to us. They've been reading their fan pages and they're all wanting their manager sacked. You know what I mean? Get him out of our club, and they've just. Same as us over Christmas, they've won 4 on the bounce. So.
Well, I remember one year they were the team who stormed out of nowhere. Remember when Ian Hart scored at Riverside? They came from nowhere, so it's doable. There's always a team who does rise, so let's hope it does. But
I think as a fan, I'd like to see.
Get ahead.
I'd like to see Ayala tied down.
I would.
Which is crazy because 2 or 3 years ago, you thought he was out the club then. But like say Ayala tied down as a fan. Howson tied down, you know what I mean, and
Jed Spence tied down.
Jed Spence definitely. Then obviously, let's see where we go. Let's just keep, if we keep winning, there's only one way we are going to go, and that's up.
Do you think Britt's going to be off in this window?
I think so. I think if
Villa and Celtic are both desperate.
I think Sheffield United as well.
Sheffield United's not a bad deal for him, is it? And maybe if we can get somebody as part of the deal from there, I don't know, but. I mean, I think it's just a case of that some high earners are going to have to come off the wage bill, and obviously it looks like Randolph's going to be one, Sombalonga. And then in the summer you could have players like, I think Gusted will probably go, I don't think there's much doubt in that. Gusted, Johnson is another one that's out of contract.
Well, there's been talk about
Bournemouth.
I think it's maybe them just putting the feelers out because they can pick him up for free in the summer, can't they? So I can't see them coming in with
when they can get him
for free in the summer.
But touching on that, he's another one who's excels for me every week. Johnson,
I think he's impressed this season. I think he's probably had his best spell at the club this season, actually. Yeah.
I think he's been alright. I think he was good when he came on the other day. Done a job.
Yeah. What have you made of the business we've done so far? We've brought in Patrick Roberts and Lucas Metcham from Man City on loan. What do you think they'll add to the squad, Tony?
Well, after seeing Roberts yesterday, especially second half, when he was getting the ball, he came inside a bit and he started to get involved a bit more. He's going to take some knocking off the ball for a little lad, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's it's just a bit more flair and pace. I don't know much about the Luke
Metcham.
I don't know much about him, but Roberts looked good. I think be a handful.
Yeah,
I say we all like a good goal on YouTube, don't we?
Yeah.
He scored a few for Celtic, I think so. And that's promising. The other two, Brown.
It was good to get 2 deals done straight away, wasn't it? Rather than wait till
the last day and then end up with nothing, as we have done the last
and
few years.
Talk of Brown and Bowler going out on loan. And it, like you said, that's what disappoints me about Woodgate sometimes, saying the likes of Dick Steele and Bowler are players he's been tracking for a while. I don't think so, Jonathan. I think that they were all down to Bevan and them players because.
Well, he's gone, hasn't he? No.
Yeah, they know. Like you say, he's gone, and it looks like both two of the signings we brought in are going to be gone. Do you know what I mean? Because they weren't even first division standard. What I've seen of them.
Yeah. I think we all sort of knew that it would probably take them time to settle in.
You were optimistic, weren't you? But
where them
it was
two
a gamble.
Yesterday, you just know you're going to get a bit more.
Yeah.
So, what other areas of the squad do you think we potentially need to strengthen this transfer window if we do?
Definitely a centre back.
Yeah.
You can't keep going with 2 centre mid. As good as a job as they've done.
And they have, yeah.
And I think we need, as much as we've just loaned them 2 lads, I'd like to see an experienced striker come in me. I'd like, and I think that'd be alright. A striker and a centre back, I'd be happy with.
Yeah. You'd be happy with the goalkeeper situation as it is, and say.
I think Pears has done alright, so carry on with him. And I think Tommy's. He's a good cup keeper, isn't he? He's knocked both Manchester teams out, hasn't he? So I'm happy with him as a standard.
Yeah, he done alright yesterday, didn't he? He had a few hairy moments.
He did.
Giving it to Savile with his back,
that's
two man
He's eccentric, isn't he?
diving in on him, but
and maybe I don't know. I'd rather us spend money elsewhere, I think, than a backup keeper, because I think Pears is the number 1 from now on.
Yeah, like you say, a good centre half.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I'd like to see Ben Gibson come back, maybe.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd like to see it happen, but
I don't know if it'll happen again.
I don't think it'll happen, but
for me, he was on his way. He showed his true colours when in the Premier League, when we were under Karanka. I think he got absolutely tortured in that league, mate.
A few did, didn't there? A few did.
Yeah,
to be fair, George Friend got mullered some weeks. I remember Zaha ripping him apart. But I think I'd have him back.
Like you say, anything to do at the moment, because like you say, the squad's way for thin. When I say anything will do, I mean anything, that's experience. We got rid of Flint, which I think was a bad move, but he wanted to be away.
Yeah, and that's it. Again, that's another side of the argument, isn't it? If players want to be away, there's no point keeping hold of them.
Well, look what happened with Gaston. We've learned now, haven't we? We thought we'll keep hold of him. And that pretty much relegated us.
And like you say, even though he's one of the boys, I don't think. Or he comes across as one of the boys sometimes, Woodgate. I don't think he takes any crap off him.
I don't.
I think he lets him, puts him in his place, especially with some of his comments after games and that with Johnson's and
he's been quite outspoken with his comments after matches when players like that Swansea game where they both walked, the 2 red cards cost us massively. Anyway, back to matters on the pitch, lads. We had the little diversion of Jose Mourinho's visit yesterday with the softballs. Apparently, it's the Riverside. Never heard anything like it in my life. Good crowd there, over 26,000. And it was a traditional cup tie. I thought it was a really good game. And I think we more than held our own against what was a really strong Tottenham team as well. I mean, when I saw their lineup,
full strength as it could be.
Yeah, I mean, what were your views on the game, Lee?
I thought we done well. Defensive shape was spot on. They really struggled to get in behind us. But then I think we struggled on the counter attack because we only had Fletcher. Although that's how the goal came about. I think we did struggle. Second half, I think Spence and Coulson pushed on a bit. And we got a bit into it, but I think we can be proud of ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Tony?
Like you say, the only person missing out of that side was Harry Kane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was expecting them running in behind,
Yeah.
running here, there, everywhere. I had to pick up, but like you say, how we had to set up. They weren't getting in behind. You know what I mean?
Got to say, with 2 centre mids playing centre back, man, we defended excellently.
They didn't have no one running through from the midfield. They looked.
I know we switched off a bit for the goal. It was
Yeah.
a quality delivery, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think our defensive shape was class, and you could see Mourinho was getting angry on it. You know.
Yeah.
No, I was happy with it. Yeah.
And again, that defensive shape only comes from putting the hours in on the training ground. So they're obviously putting the work in. So it bodes well for the future, doesn't it? And I dare say, big day next week at Tottenham for the replay. I think we'll be well backed in the replay, won't we? We'll have plenty of fans go down to that, won't we, Tony?
Just so sad it's a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Why can't you have replays on a weekend?
I reckon we'll take between 3,000 and 5,000. I think.
Yeah, which won't be bad midweek,
good for a midweek, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like?
I don't know. Like you say, you see all Lemonade Park today, the scum and the Leeds fans. You know what I mean? 8,000 of them. You know what I mean? I'd like to think if they give us 9,000, we'll get.
I think we'd shift them all.
It's like you say, times are different from the 70s and the 80s where they would have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People do have to go to work.
So I've booked the train, but I haven't put holidays in yet. So I'm hoping I can get the holidays.
Maybe shouldn't have said anything there. You should have left it a week or so before you said that, mate. That's okay. You're thinking about going on and you're thinking about it. That's what it is.
Nothing planned yet.
Anyway, before Tottenham next week, we've got the Boro going in search of a 5th consecutive league win when Derby and Wayne Rooney visit at the weekend. Another big game, arguably probably a bigger game than the Tottenham match, with another 3 points at stake, and two sides that have hit a bit of form recently, and traditionally we're both challenging at the top of the table normally. It's been a season of transition for Derby as well as ourselves this year, but I think it's going to be quite a feisty competitive game at the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, they've had their problems in-house, haven't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, massively.
With drink, drive and carry on.
Yeah.
And like you say, Rooney's come in now. I watched him. I could only watch it for about 10-15 minutes. I had to turn it off. It was poor. Rooney was poor. You know what I mean? It wasn't. Sky made it.
Oh, was this the Barnsley game last week?
Yeah. They were making as if the Messiah was returning. It was all about Rooney. And obviously he's at the Riverside Saturday.
Yeah.
But like you say, I'm more excited going to watch Jed Spence and Coulson and Tavernier than
I want to see Tavernier run rings around him.
It's going to be an interesting matchup, isn't it? Because I think, like you say,
there won't be many nanas at the match on Saturday.
I just think a lot of attention will be on Rooney, but you know what? I think that suits us down to the ground. I'm quite happy about that, and I think it's a good game for us at the weekend.
We've got a decent record versus Derby.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done us the other year. But
was it last season they battered us?
They battered us and we got a draw with a lucky own
goal. Battered us that, I remember the own goal.
Yeah. And it might be a bit tasty in the boardroom as well with all the stuff that's been going on with the financial fair play stuff and Mel Morris in town. I don't know if he'll be coming up here at the weekend, but
Well, he reckons it was, like you say, that their players didn't get paid, did they, over Christmas?
Something about us,
and he reckons some investment hadn't gone into the club. So you don't know what's going on there, do you? You know what I mean?
Dodgy dealing all over there.
Wayne Rooney was making his debut the day after, and you're reading in the papers that Derby County failed to pay the players, and he's gone there, God knows how much.
No, it's a bit of concern in that, isn't it, when you think you're bringing in players with the name and no doubt the money that he'll be on, and yet the rest of the squad are struggling to get paid and stuff like that. It seems as though I'd rather go down the route that we're going down than Derby. It seems to be as though they've gone all in to get promoted. There's no chance of that, I don't think, happening this year.
If you do that in the backfires, we done it under Monk, man.
Yeah, where's it going to end?
Still taking it now, I know,
And I mean, they haven't even had parachute payments to get through the last 3 years. So
like you say, where does their money come from?
I think there'll be questions asked. Anyway, a question for you lads. Predictions for Saturday. What do you reckon the score will be at the weekend against Derby?
I'm going 2-0 Boro. Bit confident now.
Fair play to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0. Can't see us conceding even.
Oh, yeah. Can you believe this? A month ago, quite confident in predicting home wins. Ian, go on. What are you going to go for, Ian?
2-1.
2-1. I've gone 2-1 Boro as well. Full house, 4 wins for the Boro. Just shows how quickly things can change.
I'm not going to walk under any ladders or now.
Thanks for joining us tonight, lads. It's been great to have you back on. Really enjoyed having the crack again and talking about the Boro. Just a few notices before we go. There's a new Boro supporters club, and they're holding a launch evening next week at the Riverside, next Monday night at 6 o'clock. So I know they're looking for as many people as possible to go there for that. And everyone here at Boro Fan TV would like to wish a happy birthday to Gary Parkinson. It's his birthday this Friday, an absolute Boro legend. So from myself and all the lads and everyone at Boro Fan TV, happy birthday to Parky. Hopefully we'll be back next week as we're going to preview the Tottenham game, and we've got Fulham after that, so it's a week in London next week with everyone, especially those that are nicking off from work for a bit. Alright mate, from all of us here at the Longlands, Guesty, myself and Lee, up the Boro and good night.
Up the Boro.